boom. So welcome to Peaceful Warrior Yoga. We're going to, as I already said, we're going to focus on twists and rotations over the next few weeks. I'd like you to start coming down onto your back. And when you come onto your back, make sure the head is in neutral head tilt. So if you need padding under the back of the head, add padding. If the back of the head is lifted too high and your chin is towards the chest, make the padding thinner. It's important, at least in the rotation of the neck, where we're going to start today, that the head is in neutral head tilt. You don't want it back in extension or forward in flexion. So a lot of the pivoting of the head revolves neck rotation, and that requires the head to be centrally balanced. Notice the sensations you feel at the beginning of practice, and create a little room between the head and the shoulders. Let the neck lengthen. Drop the shoulders down, snuggle the shoulder blades into the mat, palms face up. Notice your breathing this morning. And in many cases, I like to synchronize or coordinate the movements of the head and the neck with the breath. On the next exhale, gently turn the head to the left and feel the range of motion. Feel where you feel the sensations. Try to keep the chin in neutral. There's a tendency to drop the chin towards the chest. And notice over time if that range of motion can extend. Can you rotate a little further to the left? So there's this dance between the neck wanting to tense up and resist the rotation. And then over time, there'll be an opportunity to rotate more deeply. Start to play that dance as the neck relaxes. Invite the rotation to deepen. And when the neck says enough, pause and wait. Be patient. Come back to the breath. Inhale the head to neutral. Notice the residue of sensation from that twist. Then exhale the head to the opposite side. Once again, playing with that dance of pausing, waiting, and then deepening the rotation as the neck relaxes. Use the exhale as the opportunity to deepen the rotation. Remember to keep the chin away from the chest. Avoid the temptation to drop the chin. Inhale the head to neutral. And then bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together and clasp the hands under the head. Feel the head supported, fingers, the back of the skull, elbows out nice and wide. And we need to notice the relationship between the shoulders and the upper back with the neck. Push the elbows towards the floor. Feel the back starting to arch, and then lift the chin up, keeping the back of the head supported. So you don't feel any unnecessary tension in the extension of the neck. So the back bend helps us extend the neck. Bringing the hands behind the head helps support it. Now relax the elbows. Bring the head back to neutral. And bring the knees up halfway. So you have a 45-degree slant with the knees. You feel the low back press into the mat. Brace the abdominals. Create a little bit of core strength as you lift your head up off the ground. So the hands are picking up the head. Your abdominals are bracing you in a little crunch here. Now bring the chin closer to the chest so you start to feel a traction in the back of the neck. Start to wrap your elbows towards each other so your head is encased between the arms and the forearms, and feel how that brought the shoulder blades apart. Now bring the knees all the way together and use the abdominals to lift up a little higher, as if you could lift the shoulder blades off the mat, and then start to hold yourself in that crunch as you lift the skull up. You traction out the back of the neck. You feel the back of the neck lengthening. You feel the skull releasing its grip on the neck along the occipital ridge, letting everything go. For 3, 2, and then exhale gently, lower down. Keep supporting the head. Let the knees come out to the side. Feel the back bend. Exaggerate the back bend. Lift the tailbone. Push the elbows into the floor. And then lift the chin towards the sky once again. And then exhale, release, stand the feet on the mat. Keep the left hand under the back of the head and roll onto your side into fetal pose. Pull the chin down towards the chest once again and feel the traction in the back of the neck. Push that right hand into the mat and gently sit up. And then come into a comfortable seat. Now by a comfortable seat, I'm going to use a block to sit on just to elevate the hips, drop the knees. And notice how your neck feels in this moment. And then take your right hand behind your back into a half bind. So you feel that right shoulder coming back. Left hand grabs hold of that right wrist. So you've got that left elbow sticking out like a little chicken wing. And then start to lower your left ear towards that left shoulder. So you feel traction now on the side of the neck. Notice the sensations. And then start to let the chin drop down towards the chest slowly so you feel the sensations change. The left ear still leaning towards that left shoulder, but the head is dropped. You're looking down towards your feet. Gently lift the chin and start to look up to the ceiling as high as you can. Bring the head to neutral and repeat that one more time. Exhale, drop the chin towards the chest. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, the head lifts up. Bring the head to neutral. Release the hand. And then slowly bring the head to neutral. So be mindful that your head is neutral. Think of balancing a book on top of your head. Take the left hand behind the back. Bring it behind. Grab hold of that left wrist with the right hand, right chicken wing there. And then drop the right ear towards that right shoulder. And keep dropping the left shoulder away. You don't want to defeat the purpose by hunching the left shoulder. You're really trying to traction out the neck. Gently drop the chin towards the chest, like you're looking for a little stain on your t-shirt. Inhale the head to neutral, and then bring the head back. So when we think about twists, we really need our neck ready for twists. Even though when we do most of our twists in yoga, we're not using the neck as the primary source of the rotation, but it is something that we need to have freed up to complete the rotation. Bring the head to neutral, and then one more series down. And back up. Inhale, neutral, release the hands, and then gently bring the head back to balancing the book on the head position. And then lean forward, remove the block from behind you, come onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And look down between the hands and start to draw the infinity sign with the nose on the mat. Notice the range of motion your neck has as you do that. Reverse direction. Now change that infinity sign to the number 8. So the vertical movement of the nose is greater than the horizontal. Then that will bring new sensations into the neck. And reverse the figure 8. And then pause. Inhale, lift that right hand to the sky, and exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left arm. If you can, drop the head down towards or onto the mat, shoulder against the mat, and feel how your right shoulder blade has come away from the spine. Your head is rotated to that left side. And then inhale, come up and reach up. So creating that feeling of rotation in the thoracic spine, which is the main mover for our rotations in yoga. But the neck is also coming in for the ride. Try that a few times, inhaling as you come up, exhaling as you thread. Good. Now the next time you come down, hold down and press your left hand into the mat so you can lean a little more into that right shoulder. And as you do, rotate the head towards the ceiling, eyes gazing towards the ceiling, as if you're rolling onto the back of the head, and pull that left shoulder away. So now you're feeling a deep letting go of the right shoulder blade, away from the spine, head revolving towards the ceiling. Exhale, release, unwind, come back to child's pose. Notice the sensations in your neck, and your shoulders. If your knees are experiencing any discomfort, bring a blanket under the knees. Let's try the other side. Start with tabletop, lifting the left hand towards the sky, and then threading underneath that right arm. And just feeling that first rotation, and then continuing with your breath, inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you revolve. One of the features of twists is it brings your body into balance. It also brings your nervous system into balance. In yoga, we call this sattva. So if you're cold and you do twists, you will experience warming up. If you're warm and do twists, you'll experience yourself cooling down. Now, the next time you twist, pause and hold. Use that right hand to leverage into the mat as you rotate the head towards the ceiling and drop the right shoulder away. Make sure the breath continues. And then inhale, unwind. Curl the toes under the feet. Rotate the elbows in and forward, almost like you're trying to twist the arms forward. Feel the eyes of the elbows rotate forward to strengthen the arms. Lift the knees and press back into bent knee downward dog. Keep the knees bent for now. Spread the weight through the hands. Lengthen through the arms. Imagine you're trying to bring your head to the mat. You're pushing your hips back so far that your head gets closer and closer to the mat. Lengthen through the spine. Try to rotate those muscles through the arms again, and then gently press the heels back towards the floor and feel downward dog. Feel the back of the legs this morning. Bend the right knee. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. Just walk out the dog. And then lift the head, look between the hands, walk the feet to the top of the mat, and come into a forward fold. Now you've worked a lot on the neck right now, so let the neck dangle. Let the shoulders relax, arms dangle, torso relax, knees can be bent. Gently turn the head left and right, up and down. Lower the pelvis and lift the eyes. So it's like you're trying to sit down on a low bench. Your eyes are lifted, and feel how your quadriceps light up. And then push through the heel bones, bring the hands out to the side, reverse swan dive. Exhale, bring the hands together. Prayer. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins. Lengthen the crown to tail. Exhale, hands to the earth. Drop the pelvis and lift the eyes. Feel the weight come into the heel bones, and then push through the heel bones. Use those strong leg muscles to reach you up. Exhale, prayer. So let's try 3 more of those in our own time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, down. Work with the rhythm of your breath. Your eyes can be closed or open. And if you do more than 3 or less than 3, that's fine. You're just going at your pace, so I'm going at mine. Just feel the legs, the hips, all waking up. And notice how the neck and the spine feels after all that work. Getting it going with the twists. One more. I'm going to recommend, if you have blocks handy, have some blocks handy. If you have a strap handy, that would be a nice adjunct to your practice today. And then come to the top of the mat. Mountain pose, palms forward. Balance that book on top of your head. Shoulders back and down. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen crown to tail. Exhale, hands to the earth. Now take a giant step back, left foot, drop the left knee, and reach up, kneeling warrior. Bring the hands out to the side, palms up. Bring the left hand forward, right hand back, unless you're pregnant, and then you would go the opposite direction. So feel that revolved motion in kneeling warrior. Looking back at that right hand. And feel how this is initiated from the shoulder blades, that right shoulder blade coming back, but the head, after all that neck rotation, can start to turn towards that backhand. Inhale, neutral, float the hands up. Exhale, step back, downward dog. Left foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. And then step that left foot forward, drop the right knee. Stabilize the hips and the legs, pushing down with that right foot. Left leg strong, reach up, kneeling warrior, opposite side. So in yoga, we call these revolved moves pavitra, pavitra, pavita, pavita. So this is revolved kneeling warrior, hands out to the side. Revolve that right hand forward, left hand back. Now think about your neck as following the lead of the shoulders. So the left shoulder blade has come back to create the thoracic twist. And then with all that work you've done on the neck, just notice if you can look without straining the neck. Never let the neck be strained as you turn it towards that backhand. Inhale, unwind, reach up. Exhale, hands to the top of the mat, step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Lift the eyes, drop the pelvis, reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen crown to tail. Exhale, earth. Take a giant step back, left foot, left heel lifted this time. Make sure the feet are on railroad tracks. As you inhale, float the torso up into your runner's lunge. Palms face forward. Now feel the shoulder blades squeeze. And then take the hands behind the back of the head. Clasp the hands behind the back of the head. And then push the back of the head as strongly as you can with those hands, but hold and balance the book on top of the head. I'll count down from 5, and as I do, push stronger and stronger. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach the hands up. So strengthening those deep cervical flexors is very important to stabilize the neck and the head as we turn it. So we need to strengthen as well. Exhale, forward, step forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen crown to tail. Exhale, earth. Giant step back, right foot, right heel lifted, stabilize. Inhale, float the torso up, hands behind the head. And then start to increase the pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back, downward dog. Right foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Step that right foot forward and bring that left foot down behind the right foot. So both feet are on the right side of the mat. Lift the left arm up to bring you up into warrior two. Bend your right hand and push into your forehead. Push into your forehead as if you're trying to push the head backwards. Don't drop your book. Don't drop that back hand. Feeling the muscles work for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, warrior two. Left hand comes down, step back, downward dog. Left foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Big step forward. Drop that right foot behind the left. Windmill that right hand back behind you. Left hand in front, warrior two. Strong back leg. Rotate the head towards the front hand. Bend the left elbow and pull into the forehead, increasing the pressure, resisting, dropping the book for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Windmill that right hand down, step back, downward dog. And then walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let the head dangle. Now heel toe the feet wider apart. Slightly rotate outwards. Bring your hands behind the back of your head and hang the weight of your arms off the head. So you're tractioning the head down towards the ground. If you need to make the legs wider or narrower, do so. Just feel this forward fold, pulling the head down towards the ground, tractioning out the neck. So bringing a lot of attention into the cervical spine today. Exhale, release, heel toe the feet closer together. Drop the hips, lift the eyes. Push through the heel bones, reverse swan dive. Nice. Exhale, prayer. And then come to mountain pose. So we've strengthened the head, the neck by pushing against the forehead, by pushing against the back of the head. Now we're going to do side to side. Bend that right hand and push against the right side of the head. Balance your book. Left hand rotate. Rotates forward in 1, release. Mountain pose. Bending the left elbow, left hand against the side of the head, right hand swivels, feeling that right shoulder blade against the spine for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Inhale, chair pose. Utkatasana. Pushing the hips back as if there's a chair behind you. Arms up. Reaching. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, mountain pose. So remembering with chair pose, we're trying to really sit back and the hands are almost like a parallel extension of the spines. Now, sometimes you'll find the hands want to drop or the head wants to drop. So you've got to work on really keeping that length. Inhale, come up. Exhale. The chair pose will increase your body's temperature. So to neutralize it, this time when we come into chair pose, let's add the twist. Inhale, push the hips back, bend the knees, lift the arms. Now sweep both hands down to that left side until your right elbow is against the left thigh and turn the head. Turn the head towards that left side. Keep the chin away from the chest. So you can feel already the twist goes deep into the hips. If you can, start to bend that right elbow. Bend the right elbow so that the hands come closer to your chest. Now, when your hands are up near the chest, start to bring your left shoulder back so you rotate the thoracic spine more until you feel the thumbs against the sternum. And then start to turn the head towards the ceiling. And then inhale, release. Come back to your chair pose. And then slowly stand up. Close the eyes. Now just notice how when we just do chair pose, how quickly the body gets hot. And when we add the twist, it brings it back to a more even temperature. So just notice that. Well, that was my experience. So at least it's consistent with the theory from my point of view. I hope you had a similar experience. All right, we're going to go the other side. Inhale, chair pose. Sink down. If you look down, your knees will not obscure the toes. And then exhale, sweep the hands out to the right side. So really only the arms are in the twist at the moment. We haven't really involved the twist into the spine yet. That starts to happen now as you bend the left elbow and the right shoulder comes back. So thoracic spine starts to twist. Bring the thumbs back towards the chest. Now work on that right shoulder coming back more until you feel the thumbs against the sternum. And then start to revolve the head towards the ceiling. Pavitra Utkatasana, that revolved chair pose. And then slowly unwind. Lift up. Stand up. Exhale. Mountain pose. Good job. So you can have blocks handy for this next one. It's if you come to the middle of the mat and then straddle the feet comfortably wide. Rotate the right foot out as if you were getting ready for warrior two. Left foot slightly pigeon-toed. Now keep both legs straight. And if you have hyperextensive knees, just slightly bend that knee. Now remember all this twist work, so bring your left shoulder back a little bit without compromising the hips. So if your hips don't like you bringing that left shoulder back, just bring it back until your hips are okay with it. Now push down on the hips and lengthen the ribs, and as you do, lean like the leaning tower of Pizza and keep the chin away from the chest. So you've created that nice beginning part of triangle pose. Lengthen the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward, hips push back. Drop that right hand down, not to support you, but simply to create the triangular shape. Left hand reaches up. So feel those sensations. Now exhale, drop that left hand to the hip and look towards the ground. Grab your block onto whatever setting you want and bring your left hand onto the block. I've brought it pretty much under my left shoulder. Bring your right hand to the hip. So we're going into the revolved part of triangle pose. Revolved triangle. Bring that right shoulder back more. That's it. That's it. Bring the right shoulder back more. Keep the chin away from the chest. Let the head start to turn towards the ceiling. Lift the right hand towards the sky. Beautiful. Revolved triangle pose. So your head is not creating the twist, but it's adding to the twist. Exhale, float that hand down. Come back to triangle. And maybe this time you can take that hand down a little lower. You might find that the range of motion, which is what you'll experience from a twist, is it's going to increase the range of motion of your spine and your hips. Exhale, float the hands down, bend that front knee, warrior two. And then straighten that leg. Come back to center. Push the hips back. Cross the elbows. Let the head dangle. And while you're dangling, draw the infinity sign on your mat with the nose. Release the head. And then draw the figure 8 sign. Really let that neck go. That neck's been working a lot today. Gently bend the knees, slowly stand up. Rotate the left foot out. So notice that your triangle pose, at least for me, my triangle pose is a little closer than warrior two. Warrior two, I'd have a deeper stance. Now think about the rotational factors here. Bring that right shoulder back. Find that delicious discomfort and then start to push the right hip back. Head leans down like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Lengthen through the spine. Don't let the head collapse here. So feel your legs and hips supporting you, your core supporting you. Dangle the left hand towards the ground. Right hand to hip. Bring that shoulder back a little more. Right hand to heaven. Utthita Trikonasana. So to come into Pavita Trikonasana, we are going to take the right hand down, grab a block. Right hand comes underneath, either to the earth or the block. Left hand to left hip. There you're starting the revolution, the revolving. Now work on bringing that left shoulder back as much as you can. Remember not to collapse the chin to the chest. So you're working on the thoracic twist. Bring that left shoulder blade back more and more and more. Right hip comes forward. Once you're set up, then the head can start to look to the ceiling, and then you can lift that left arm. And notice how it is to breathe in a revolved twist. It's a little more challenging, so don't hold the breath. Keep the breath flowing. Exhale, lower the hands, soften that right left knee. Stabilize the back leg as you reach up, warrior two, opposite side. Float the hands down and then heel toe the feet towards each other. Mountain pose. Close the eyes for a moment. And we'll come into one more revolved pose, but before we do that, let's think about twisting our limbs. Twisting our limbs. So you could have your blocks either side of your feet onto the lowest setting. And then soften the knees and take the ball of the right foot onto the block on the left side of the left foot. What? You've crossed the right knee over the left knee, twisted root. Now the balance part of this, if you wanted to come into it, is to wrap that right foot behind your calf muscle and squeeze the inner thighs. Now if the ball of the foot stays on the block, still squeeze the inner thighs. So you're really working the standing leg here. Bring the hands out to the side and bring the right elbow under the left into your eagle pose. So you're starting to feel the release in the shoulders and the shoulder blades here. Now you can add a little more neck release here, which is going to help for those revolve poses by imagining that you're having an arm wrestle with yourself. And the lower arm, the lower hand, is going to win. So it pulls that top hand, that left hand down to the left. So you rotate and you feel that stretch sensation through the left shoulder. And then you bring your left ear towards the left shoulder. Traction out the neck. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Close the eyes for a moment and simply notice how the twisted limbs affect you. Let's try the other side. So that right ball, the left ball of the foot comes onto the block on the right, or you can twist it and wrap it and work on your balance. Twisted root. And you've got the block there to come back to if you're practicing balance. Hands out to the side. This time left elbow on the right. And really squeeze those arms so you feel the shoulder blades come apart in your Garudasana. And then once again, feel that battle where the lower hand, the left hand, pulls that right hand to the right. And then you drop your ear to the left shoulder. Or the right shoulder, whichever shoulder you haven't done. Inhale, release. Exhale. And then grab your strap. Let the strap, the U shape of the strap, rest on the ground and step on it with your right foot. Bring the feet together. Now hold the strap with your right hand. I like to wrap it around my knuckles actually, so it's kind of pulling my right shoulder down. Now, like treat pose, bring the greater portion of your weight into the left heel bone. So there's a slight lean to the left. Strengthen that left leg so you can lift that right knee up. And you can walk your hands towards your toes or along the strap. You don't have to grab your toes, you can keep holding the strap. Bring your left hand onto your hip and then start to straighten that leg. Now bring the left hand out to come into your revolved motion, right hand to the hip. Bring that right shoulder back and then reach that right hand behind you. Exhale, release elegantly or otherwise. So the beauty about using all this work on twists, even if it's hard work, is your body is going to be deeply grateful to you because you're doing tremendous work on the musculature that supports the spine and the hips. You're working the organs of the body. You're creating squeezing sensations against the organs of the body, particularly kidneys and liver. And the spine itself is not used to rotating unless, like I said, you do a lot of swimming or golf. And usually in swimming or golf, you get into pattern overload where you create that same movement over and over again. So this is helping extend and break up that pattern overload. All right, so opposite foot, opposite hand. Feel the majority of the weight pour into that right heel bone. Strengthen the right leg and then lift that left knee. Hand can walk closer to the foot to allow you to extend. Right hand on hip. Using your eyes on the drishti point, so it's a balanced pose for sure. Now to get into the revolved pavitra, switch hands. So the right hand takes over, left hand on hip, and then you start to bring that left hand around behind you and start to turn towards that left hand. And then exhale, release. Mountain pose. And then widen the feet, Charlie Chaplin feet, bend the knees, come down to a low squat. Oh, hello. Come down onto your sit bones. And then prepare yourself for Shavasana. Time just flew. So let's see how the post and pre-Shavasana feels after all this work we've done on twists. Start by bending the knees and letting the low back sink into your mat. Snuggle the shoulder blades in, palms out, 45 degrees, palms up. Now you can either leave your knees bent into constructive rest pose, knees together, feet apart. Or if you want a little more hip opening, you can bring the soles of the feet together. Or you can extend the legs out into traditional Shavasana. Or you can even support the thighs with a bolster if you have it. Now relax the shoulders for a moment and let the body start to soften. Notice where you're still holding any tension in the jaw. Let the jaw go limp. Let the eyes melt. Let the eyes become very soft. Gently turn the head to the left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale the head to the right. Inhale, neutral. Let the hands and shoulders go limp. Let yourself be breathed. And notice where your practice has brought you today. Notice how your nervous system is. Does it feel relaxed? Does it feel buzzy? Does it feel balanced? Notice the rhythm of your breath. And take a moment to check in with yourself. Sometimes the advantage of these Zoom classes gives you the opportunity to remain in Shavasana for an extended period of time if that's what the body wants. So just decide if you want to extend your Shavasana or start to transition into the rest of your day. If you're transitioning, take a deeper breath in and gently bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Pick up the knees and hug the knees for a moment. Rock from side to side. And then roll all the way over to one side. Curl up into a little ball. And then gently press up to a comfortable seat. Balance the book on the head. And gently turn the head to the right. Inhale, neutral. Exhale to the left. Notice how the cervical spine feels at the end of your practice. Next week, we'll deepen into the twists, focusing more on the thoracic spine. This week, just take notice of your neck as you move about through your week. As you bring your hands together in prayer position, let the head bow in gratitude. Thank you for your company. Namaste. Thank you, folks. I'll just stop the recording and we can unmute if you want to say anything.
Thank you, Lord.
My pleasure. Well, let me just
That was fantastic.
Yeah.